Hello, I'm Professor Qubit, and today we'll be discovering how Bluetooth headphones work. This is a qubit. Every day in the land of the qubits, citizens go about their daily lives to help your electronics work. But sometimes, life gets pretty boring moving electrons around. That's why, oftentimes, qubits enjoy listening to music through headphones to make their lives slightly less miserable. But have you ever wondered how those sleek personal headsets manage to deliver crystal clear sound without any visible wires? To get started, let's begin with the basics so we can fully understand how the modern audio experience works. The way headphones work is quite innovative. Inside the headphones, some tiny speakers play sound waves from electrical signals. Take a look at what's inside. Imagine a thin, flexible sheet of material, like a tiny trampoline. This is called the diaphragm, and it's usually made of plastic or metal. A small coil of wire is attached to the back of the diaphragm. This coil is called the voice coil because it's the voice of the electrical signal. A permanent magnet sits behind the voice coil, creating an invisible magnetic field. When the electrical signal from the amplifier reaches the voice coil, it creates a magnetic field around the coil itself. This magnetic field interacts with the permanent magnet's field, causing the voice coil to move back and forth rapidly. Since the voice coil is attached to the diaphragm, this back and forth motion makes the diaphragm vibrate as well. As the diaphragm vibrates, it pushes and pulls on the air around it. This creates tiny fluctuations in air pressure, which travel as waves. These waves are what we perceive as sound. That's the basic principle behind how speakers and headphones, and even large speakers, work. The electrical signal controls the movement of the diaphragm, which in turn creates the sound waves we hear. Pretty cool, right? Let's not forget that, to play the music, the speaker must have an audio source. When talking about wired headsets, this audio source can come from a phone, computer, and other devices capable of producing the appropriate electrical signals. However, in wireless headsets, the source comes from the Bluetooth chip. Keep in mind these signals are quite weak, so they must be amplified through the use of the appropriately named amp component. But for the sake of simplicity, let's move our focus towards the wireless relationship between the headset and the Bluetooth transmitting device. Spoiler alert, it's not wireless. How does your phone or music player send sound wirelessly to your headphones? It's kind of like a messenger service. To make things easy for us, think of the music on one of our qubits phones. Let's break it down. Music on the phone is stored digitally as a complex code. A digital to analog converter, or DAC, takes the digital code and converts it into a weak electrical signal that carries the sound information. Another chip inside the headphone, called the Bluetooth module, takes the electrical signal and transforms it into an RF radio wave suitable for short-range wireless transmission. These radio waves travel through the air, carrying the encoded music information in all directions. In the headphones, a tiny antenna in the Bluetooth receiver picks up these waves. The Bluetooth module in the headphones translates the received radio waves back into the electrical signal, which is converted into digital code with the help of a DAC, like the one in the phone. Since the decoded digital signal is weak, an amplifier circuit boosts the signal's power to drive the tiny speakers in your headphones. Finally, the amplified digital signal is converted back into an analog electrical signal by the headphone's DAC. This signal powers the speakers, creating the vibrations in the diaphragm that we perceive as sound. Yeah, I know, it's a lot. Obviously, I can't cover all the intricacies of electricity and how everything works to the most minute detail. Frankly, I'm not paid enough for that. However, before I finish my lecture, I'd like to highlight some aspects of Bluetooth that will help clarify how computers and electronics like to talk together wirelessly. The RF wave is a type of electromagnetic wave, and in these waves, Bluetooth information can be transmitted and received through frequency shift keying, which computers translate to zeros and ones. This binary data together forms packets that travel through the air. They are like the packets used when connecting to the internet. Basically, they contain bits and pieces of the data being sent and a header that makes sure the packets actually get where they're supposed to. And in this case, it's Bluetooth headphones. Bluetooth uses channels to communicate and differentiate between devices and other wireless sources of information. This combination of packets and channels ensures that your headphones will get all the necessary information to produce the correct vibrations in the speakers. It's crazy to think that millions of bits are being sent out through the air at all times to get all this information around. Since headphones can't receive power wirelessly the same way data is sent, at least not yet anyway, they need a battery to provide direct current to the circuitry inside so that the Bluetooth component can pick up the signals and for the actual sound to play. We could even explore Bluetooth profiles and different audio codecs to further elaborate on the topic, but I'll leave the audio files to do that for you. Fortunately, we are at a point where you can get some pretty basic wireless headphones for extremely cheap. They won't be as great as the flagship stuff, but they'll do the job. Heck, you can even get some of this stuff from China for a couple of bucks. Anyways, now that we understand how our headphones work and interact, even wirelessly, you can now tell all your friends how their devices work. I'm completely, absolutely, 100% sure they'll be very interested. Maybe. Though our fellow qubits are so overworked on a daily basis, at least they can enjoy some music on their headphones while they perform their activities. I hope you were able to discover something helpful through my presentation. Perhaps you even watched it with Bluetooth headphones on. Anyways, keep yourself safe. It's crazy out there. Until next time, Professor Qubit.